much trouble, can we get people in the back to kind of come forward a little bit? Is that all right? Yeah, I know, right? Sorry. Yeah, I get it, but you know, it would be nice if y'all came forward. All right. How's everybody feeling?
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna do some poems, and just like, you know, ground rules, right? Some people feel like because they're listening to poetry, they gotta be completely quiet, right? That's not the case. If you hear something that you like, you can say, "Oh." All right, let's try that together. Oh. You can say, You can say, "Let's go."
Let's go.
You can also throw in like, "Amen, hallelujah, Jesus, take the wheel." Whatever you feel like doing is completely okay. You're not gonna mess me up. Let's have some fun. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Ready for the first poem? Say, "Let's go."
Let's go.
All right. A few things I believe. I believe sour apple flavored anything is delicious. I believe orange juice tastes better with pulp. And I believe Cinnabon is made by angels.
Yes.
I like Tampico. But anything you can get a gallon of for $1 is definitely poison. See, I believe that masculinity is a wet fish that most men are just trying to hold on to. And smiling before a fight is the quickest way to make your opponent nervous. See, I believe that music is easier to digest than medicine. A good song can turn any room into a church. And Whitney Houston's voice is all the proof I need to know God exists. See, I was born on July 27th. I hear that makes me a Leo. I have no idea what that actually means. I'm 5'6.5". I weigh 145 pounds. I don't know how to swim, and I'm a sucker for a girl with a nice smile and clean sneakers. See, I'm still learning how to whisper. I'm often loud in places where I should be quiet. I'm often quiet in places where I should be loud. I was born feet first, and I've been backwards ever since. I like ginger ale. A lot. I've been told that I give really bad hugs. People say that it feels like I'm trying to escape. Sometimes it's because I am. Secretly, I get really nervous every time someone gets close enough to hear me breathe. I have this odd fascination with things like sand castles and ice sculptures. I assume it's because I usually find myself dedicating time to things that will only last a few moments. That's also why I tend to fall in love with women who will never love me back. I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually much easier than it seems. And to be honest, I think it's safer that way. See, relationships, they often remind me that I'm not afraid of heights or falling, but I'm scared of what's going to happen the moment that my body hits the ground. I'm clumsy. Yesterday, I tripped over my self-esteem. I landed on my pride, and it shattered like an iPhone with a broken face. Now, I can't even tell who's trying to give me a compliment. I've never been in the military, but I have this purple heart. I got it from beating myself up over things I can't fix. I know this sounds weird, but sometimes I wonder what my bed sheets say about me when I'm not around. I wonder what the curtains would do if they found out about all the things I've done behind their backs. I've got a hamper that's overflowing with really, really loud mistakes and a graveyard in my closet. I'm afraid that if I let you see my skeletons, you'll grind my bones into powder and get high on my fault line. Hi. My name is Rudy. I enjoy frozen yogurt, people watching, and laughing for absolutely no reason at all. See, but I don't allow myself to cry as often as I need to. I have solar power confidence. I have a battery-operated smile. My hobbies include editing my life story, hiding behind metaphors, and trying to convince my shadow that I'm someone worth following. See, I don't know much, but I do know this. I know that heaven is full of music. I know God listens to my heartbeat on his iPod. It reminds him that we still got work to do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to do it like a little bit of a medley kind of thing. So here we go. When a black man says that you are pretty for a dark-skinned girl,
talk about it.
he will nod his head. He will say this with laughter in the basement of his throat, as though words like these are not the smoking pistols that wound the self-esteem of women who wear midnight on their skin. He will say this with a smile, as if he is almost, but not quite willing to excuse the amount of Africa still living inside of your DNA. What he is saying is that there is a railroad on the color wheel. He thinks that you are from the wrong side of the tracks when he pats you on the back. No, there is no compliment in the trunk. There is no apology riding shotgun. His wisdom teeth are wearing white hoods. Don't let him burn crosswords into your pride. Never forget that you are a constellation. And I've owned a telescope since the day I was born. Even on days when you feel completely invisible, I see you. See, I was told that the average girl begins to plan her wedding at the age of 7. I was told she picks the colors in the cake first. That by the age of 10, she knows the time and the location. By 17, she's already chosen a gown and a maid of honor. By 22, I'm told that she's waiting for a man who doesn't break out in hives when he hears the word commitment. Someone who doesn't smell like a Band-Aid drenched in lonely. Someone who is more than a temporary solution to the empty side of the bed. Someone who will hold her hand like it's the only one that he's ever seen. To be honest, I don't know what tuxedo I'll be wearing. I have no clue what my wedding will look like. But I imagine the woman who pins my last name to hers will butterfly down the aisle like a 5-foot promise. I imagine that her smile will be so big that you will see it on Google Maps and know exactly where our wedding is being held.
Yes, sir.
The woman that I plan to marry, she will have champagne in her walk and I will get drunk on her footsteps. When the pastor asks me if I take this woman to be my wife, I will say yes before he even finishes the sentence. I'll apologize later for being impolite, but I will also explain to him that our first kiss happened 6 years ago, and I've been practicing my yes for the past 2,165 days. When people ask me about my wedding, I never really know what to say. When they ask me about my future wife, I always tell them that her eyes are the only Christmas lights that deserve to be seen all year long. I tell them that if I could, I would shapeshift into the first thing she thinks about in the morning just to make sure that no matter where I am in the world, I will always wake up next to her. I tell them she has a walk that can make an atheist believe in God just long enough to say, God damn. That if my alarm clock sounded like her voice, my snooze button would collect dust. That if she came in a bottle, I would drink her until my vision is blurry and my friends take away my keys. I tell them that if she was a book, I would memorize her table of contents. I would read her cover to cover, hoping to find typos just so we can both have something to work on, because aren't we all unfinished? And don't we all need editing? Aren't we all waiting to be read by someone praying they will tell us that we make sense? She don't always make sense, but I swear to God, her imperfections are the things I love about her the most. I don't know when I'll be married. I don't know where I'll be married. But I do know this, that whenever I'm asked to describe my future wife, I do so as best as I can. And every single time, she sounds a lot like you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I call it scars / 10 things I like to say to my ex-girlfriend. Y'all ready?
Yep.
You ready? Say, let's go.
Let's go.
10 things I like to say to my ex-girlfriend. 1, if I could, I would nail these hands to the edges of stars. I would sacrifice this body to the sky, hoping to resurrect as someone spiteful enough to not care about you anymore. 2, staple me to a cross. Pierce my side with a broken promise, and I will bleed all the crippled reasons why you deserve one more chance. 3, loving you was the last thing I felt really good at. 4, you want to know how I got these scars? Well, I ripped every last piece of you out of my smile. 5, I whispered you stardust. 6, I spoke you into sunflower. 7, I dipped my hands in forever. I touched you infinity, treated you as if you were the last molecule of oxygen inside of a gas chamber. I was good to you. 8, you want to know how I got these scars? See, I swallowed my pride, and then it clawed its way out of my mouth. 9, I realized that I was never really your boyfriend. I was your hype man. 10, hope your ex-boyfriend gets smallpox. 10, yes, I said smallpox. 10, I hate you. 10, but I miss you. 10, and I still love you. 10, I still love you. 10, I still love you. 10. I heard that over 90% of human interaction is nonverbal, so. 10. If I could, I would tie your arms to a daydream and then auction you off to my fondest memories. To the random dude who started dating my ex-girlfriend 2 days after we broke up, yes, I saw that shit on Facebook. Now, when I realized that you were in a relationship with a girl that I thought I would spend the rest of my life with, I walked outside, I said to myself, there's no way Ashton Kutcher is going to catch me off guard. I waited 45 minutes. But I guess I'm the only practical joke in this entire situation. 1, the first time I saw you and her in a picture, I wanted to take my entire arm, shove it inside of the computer, and snatch the happiness right off of your face. 2, if I ever see you in the street, I'm probably gonna punch you in the throat. 3, I apologize in advance. And I know that it makes absolutely no sense to have this much anger toward a man that I've never actually met face to face, but my definition of love is being robbed in an alley 8 times in a row and hoping there's something about today that makes all of this different. There is nothing logical about cutting off the most important parts of yourself and then putting them inside of hands that shake, that tremble, that crack like a Haitian sidewalk. 4, there is nothing rational about love. Love stutters when it gets nervous. Love trips over its own shoelaces. Love is clumsy and my heart refuses to wear a helmet. 5, Cupid is fucking irresponsible. And I'm tired of him using me for target practice. 6, I was told time heals all wounds. But what exactly do you do on days when it feels like the hands on your clock have arthritis? 7, she always wore her heart on her sleeve, so tell me, why the hell do you look so familiar? 8, I think I've seen you somewhere in her smile. Like I've heard your voice in her laughter. Like I've smelled your cologne on her thighs. I bet if we dusted her heart for fingerprints, we would only find yours.
Wow.
9, I have this envelope. It's full of all the butterflies that I felt the first time she relaxed the Velcro on her lips and smiled in my direction. I think most of them are still alive. I guess these belong to you too. Thank you.